Hello, Brian and Emmanuel. Like my new lighting that I have on me? Isn't that professional looking? Yes, it is. First off, I really like everything that you guys said. I'm surprised at how good this is going. I was a little bit skeptical, but so far, it's awesome. And our first video has 11 views. 9 more than I thought we'd have. This is my response. I'm a little bit excited today because I just got back from an interview where I got a job at the restaurant in town here. Probably the coolest restaurant we have, according to my mom and dad, who really like going there in the summertime. I am apparently a bartender there, which is interesting that anyone feels comfortable putting me in charge of anything, even if it is just the liquor. Brian, in response to the wrong date that I put up. Yeah, I put up the wrong date. And yes, I do have a time machine. You'll notice that I haven't gone back in time and changed the date because I just did that on purpose to mess with you. I don't have a time machine. I'm just bad at days. One other thing I do have, though, a mixtape, which is what I actually looked at to get that idea. It's also an awful mixtape, but that's beside the point. I still think that there's something funny we could do with mixtapes. We could make something of that when we're together, hopefully. I could make a mixtape for you guys, because I think that would be nice. Responding to the next thing, your Norwegian video. I really think that's funny. I wish I had thought of it. My only question is, how do we film it? Could we film it with us three? Could we be the hipsters and then just have us like lounging, really relaxed, possibly in a massage chair, and we're just listening to the music and really it's super calming? Or a fancy dinner of some sort? Just this awful, well, not awful, just this ridiculous music's in the background and it's what we're having a fancy dinner to, champagne perhaps. Or we could just write it and possibly film it another time, because I think it's a really funny idea. That the indie music of Norway is this like ridiculous, still ridiculous music. And maybe we could show the stage and amidst all this blood and raucous violence, there's like an accordion player. He's naked, I don't know. Something indie, where they're all drumming on pots and pans, but it's just still death metal, like how indie musics do. To Emmanuel, you're welcome. Of course we include you in this. You're great. You're a great guy. You're really funny. Thanks for saying that we're the best people on the earth, but molten people suck, and it's mole men is where it's at. Or crab people. I kind of feel with your roommate idea that it's turning into more of a series. Instead of less of a one-time little funny video, we could almost do it where there's two roommates and they have access to all these supernatural kind of gifts that they're just using for the worst ideas ever. The one guy uses it for the awful ideas, and the other guy just wants no part of it, but they just can. They can see ghosts, and they can do all these crazy things that they don't really know why. Well, maybe their house is on an Indian burial ground or something, but they have all these like supernatural gifts. They just use it for typical things like meeting girls and getting beer easier. Roommate things? College people things? Some supernatural ideas that I thought of just on the top of my head were like talking to ghosts for homework, which is actually a pretty good idea. Using like hypnosis on women, which would be kind of handy. Although I hypnotize them with my little bit of chest hair anyways. Future telling? Another thing that would be really helpful if you could do with girls in reality. Reading minds, possibly? I kind of like the idea of this turning into more of a series though. One thing that I thought was hilarious about your idea was the sneaking out idea. Having to carry out someone so that they don't make any footprints, because apparently the girl is super good at hearing and she can tell when there's more than one footprint. I'm going to mull this idea a little bit more. I'd love to know what you guys think about this, because I think this could be possibly our next big TV series, a hit movie, book, comic book combo. In response to your other idea, the Medicine Hat idea, which we actually have talked about a little bit. Medicine Hat does close at 4:30 every day, which is weird. I think we need Brian's input. I think what we should do with the Medicine Hat idea is all get together and just kind of riff on Medicine Hat and see what we come up with. Just do some improv and kind of see where this all goes. I like the idea of a guy coming to Medicine Hat that is completely new to it. We just have his reaction to everything that is so ridiculous. Following someone around with a camera maybe and their first impressions of everything. But I think that would be well suited to an improv thing where we all just get together and make jokes and whatnot. So on to my new idea, which is an interesting one, I think anyways. I laughed about it when I thought about it, and I'm gonna actually put it in a completely different video because this one is already way too long. We should get rid of time limits. And yes, I can change my clothes magically. And in response to Emmanuel's challenge that I talk about unicorns, well, I decided to one-up it. Let's switch to the camera by the piano. Hey Emmanuel, I've decided to one-up your challenge about talking about unicorns to singing out a little song about unicorns that I'm gonna make up right now. I really like unicorns because they're awesome. They're like horses, but they're a little bit different than horses because I assume they are non-allergenic. I am allergic to horses, which is why I don't really like them. They are not my favorite animal at all. Also, unicorns are pretty awesome because their favorite type of human is princesses and hot girls, and that is also my favorite type of human. Unicorns! Anyway, that's the end of my movie. Hope you guys like that. It's probably going to be a little longer than the last one. So, Brian, I'm going to challenge you. I would like to see a drawing. And I also want a little story about it because the stories about your drawings are delightful. But it can't be a drawing I've already seen. Although I did like the guy with the owl because I thought he was a funny one. Anyways, excited to see the next video.